Okay, look, I don't know you, but I know that you probably have a lot of inspirations, good inspirations in your life, people who make you fire up 3 a.m. in the morning, that make you want to change your life, to change stuff around, to create new routines. I have this personal experience, which has become a meme as of lately. Maybe it has always been a meme that guys have this random motivation to work out like 3 a.m. in the morning, and then you just wake up next day after planning things in your head the whole night, and then you just wake up feeling like shit. And it's not just with working out. I think working out's the over experience, but everybody has these different inspirations for different things that eventually disappoint them or don't lead them to great things. And I gotcha. I really gotcha. Getting inspired is a feeling that can make us very addicted, because it is good to think about the great stuff that we can achieve. It's not as great trying to reach them. It's way more difficult than the initial moment that you think of it. The moment that you think of it's a glimpse of joy, and then the trail is long and difficult and all the shit. But it doesn't have to be like that. And I think there's more smart and healthy ways to deal with this than most of us deal with this on a daily basis. So I really wanted to talk about this. It's something that has been on my mind as of lately, and I'll talk about a little bit more about my experience with this recently, and how I could manage to change that at least a bit. Yeah. By the way, shout out to Kim. She's a great friend of mine. She took the original photo for the drawing that you're seeing on your screen right now, for the speed paint. She's the girl in the photo. I basically stole her concept and made it my own. Yeah, just stealing stuff as a good artist. But yeah, I've been thinking about inspirations as of lately. I've always been very full of artistry my whole life, but art has been on my side for a long time. And most people who are watching this are probably artists as well, but this is not a talk for just us artists. That's for everyone who feels like they got more to reach. But of course, a lot of things that I talk about in here are going to be related to art, because that's what my personal experience is. One of my first toys, quote unquote toys, were pencil and paper. That's the things that have been with me since I was very young. So that's usually where my inspirations are. I don't get that inspired by stuff related to fitness, although sometimes it does happen, but not as much. I don't get too inspired by things related to business and cooperative stuff, or relationship wise. Those kind of things don't fire me up, because I've either already made peace with this stuff, or I don't really care too much. But with art specifically, and everything revolving it, and of course, when I say everything revolving it, I'm also talking about success and money stuff. Of course, we need that to live and to appease our egos. But I do mean everything around it. So every time that I am in these phases of my life that I don't feel like I'm going nowhere, and the things that I'm doing are not leading me to the places I really wanted to get to, I get back to my influences, to the people who inspire me a lot. And I'm going to use one example, but it does happen with a lot of different people. A lot of different people inspire me, but I'm going to use one of them as an example because it's one of my favorite artists, period. And I think they have a great perspective on how to deal with this art thing in our lives, which is Tyler, the Creator. I really like him. I've been listening to his stuff for a long time now, and I like him as an artist and not just as a musician. He taps into a lot of different fields of art, and his perspective of life has always been very joyful. I don't really like too much those intense feelings of determination and the constant need to remember and to remind ourselves of the importance of discipline, which I do agree with and I do believe, but some people focus that too much that we get too tense about it. We forget that we're here for a good time and that we need to enjoy the process and all that stuff. Like, life is about being joyful and making peace with stuff and feeling at peace and at ease. And sometimes focusing too much on the struggle and hustle side of things is just a way of masking insecurities and pain and trauma. And I don't believe in having a good life while you're masking traumas. Those two don't go too well side by side. So dealing with stuff in a joyful manner and feeling healed by the thing that you do, feeling like you are answering your calling in this world is way more effective, in my opinion. Like it's way better. And I'm saying this because I have tried this in the past to be 100% in hustle culture. I have a lot of different opinions about it, good and bad, and I think that in the art world it's mostly bad to focus too much on that. It's good to be able to be determined and to sacrifice a lot of stuff in order to perfect your craft, and I do believe that volume pays the bills a lot of times. But at the same time, in art, it's not the answer to everything, because art is not about volume most of the time. It's about how you see things, how you perceive things, and how well you are at making your art reach some people at an emotional level, how good you are at making your ideas and concepts available to others, and to make them at ease enough so that they can feel differently from what they were feeling before. That's the transformative part of art, and that's not achievable just by sheer volume. So when Tyler talks about doing his stuff and feeling good with himself and loving music so much and never thinking about stop doing that, when he thinks about his whole career and gets back to the old days and how he has always been very confident in himself and how he would do this stuff, how he would keep making music despite everything, it doesn't matter what happened, it really fires me up. And yeah, again, it does fires me up sometimes at random moments, like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm feeling like shit, I had a horrible day, stuff didn't go well, and then I just get back to my references. I listen to some of his songs and I say, hey, shit, he had to come from somewhere, right? He wasn't born making songs like this. And matter of fact, his first albums were nothing like this. I don't like his first albums that much, and for good reasons, and they didn't sound like this. But he had to go through this. Like, he had to do stuff. He had to go places. He had to have experiences and perfect his stuff. And it's just such a great inspiration for me. The things that he say, not just in his songs, but throughout his life, in conversation with people, in interviews and in talks, and we get a glimpse of his process, not just on making art, but on living life. Of course, I don't know him. I'm not his friend. I can say for sure everything that he thinks about anything in life, but the part that he chooses to tell us and teach us and focus on seem to be the ones that make the world a better place, not just for everyone, like through art, but for himself. And applying the same concepts that he does to his art and craft has made me realize that I was leaving a lot on the table. Not money wise, I mean happiness wise. I was leaving a lot on the table. I was thinking too much about getting inspired and fired up so I could have more force, more strength, more willpower. I wanted to have more. I wanted to be able to output more. I forgot entirely for such a long time that I was not focusing enough on the things that made the process joyful. And how can I expect to have a good output if the input is not good? How can I expect to have a good life led by a lot of struggle? I know that traumas exist. I know that traumas are formed throughout our lives. I cannot expect to create traumas during my struggles to get to somewhere, to get to my goals, and expect to live a life not having to fight them, not having to fight my own demons. It's better to have a good time now and a good time then. I was doing exactly what I think a lot of you might be doing right now, which is getting inspired so much that you compare yourself to your inspirations and you realize that you're not there yet, that you're not on par with them, and that you see this immense workload that separates you both, and the immense amount of circumstances that haven't happened to you yet and that has happened to them and that led them to the success that they are experiencing right now. And your mind can't fathom how great this gap is. So initially, when you're fired up and you can only think from the end, you are already thinking from these concepts of maturity and idealization that they present to you. But then once this magic just fades away, it doesn't appeal you anymore, because the ugly side of getting there comes to life. So how do we make this a positive experience? Like, how do we make this something joyful to us? How can we make this stick? How do we follow through? And before I tell you how I managed to think about this, click like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Leave some ideas if you have them. This is a safe place, not just for artists, but for everybody who feels like they are just trying to change their lives and become a better version of themselves. And I just want this to be a safe place to everybody, so feel free to be part of it if you want, of course. But yeah, the way that I made this all positive and not just a burden for myself was understanding how they got there and what they went through. And not in a way that, okay, they worked so many hours, they did so much, they tried this and that in a logical way of thinking, of reasoning, but actually thinking about the mental process that they went through. Because most of the time, these inspirations come from people who are either very successful or very passionate in what they do. When they are very successful, and you can see that they're not passionate, there's always this underlying tone in the way that they talk about stuff that I don't know about you, but I can notice that immediately when someone is successful but they're not fulfilled by what they do. I can just feel that they are not really happy with all that's happening and the things that they're doing in life. And this doesn't fire me up, because I see no point. When I rationalize a little bit, I see no point in having what they have and living the life they are living. Because why would I choose life over life experience, you know? Why would I choose the objective reality, let's say a specific amount of money, if I don't want to live the experience of using well that money and having fun with that? What are even the reasons I'm doing that? So I like to break down this mental process that they went through, or that they want us to believe that they went through. And I want to make it clear to myself, why am I even attracted to these thoughts? What am I trying to compensate, and what am I trying to achieve? And the person that made me realize this was not actually Tyler, and it was not actually in the arts field. It was on the sports field, which is Kobe Bryant. Now everybody knows about his relentless pursuit of greatness and perfection, and the Black Mamba mentality and all this stuff, which I'm highly passionate about. Not as a practical concept, because it's not practical, and I don't believe anybody should follow his steps the way he did. But at the same time, the concept of having an alter ego, basically, with such a mentality to achieve success in a thing that he really loves, is something that has pushed me forward to think about my own craft and the things that I do, because I've been doing art throughout my whole life, and this includes periods in which I was not feeling anything good about myself, in which I was not feeling any positive feelings about what I was doing, about who I was, and like the prospects for the future were not very good at all. And I just kept doing it. I just kept going. I just kept making more art, drawing more, making more songs, and just trying out different things, because I was really passionate about this. And passion is the underlying tone. This intense pursuit of greatness by Kobe has changed in my mind. Like, for me, it's not about him pursuing greatness and being extremely dedicated to his craft, but him being extremely passionate about it. And the dedication and discipline that he had were just an outcome, were just like a second step of being so passionate about it. Finding your passion first, your true passion, not what you think it is, but what it really is, the core of it, identifying the core of it, and then constructing stuff from it seems to be the only way of going through this without getting extremely, without burning out, without getting extremely mad, without crashing out, without losing sleep over it. Because if you are truly passionate about something, the results are secondary. They matter a lot, but doing the thing is never a burden. It might lead to burden in other areas of your life, like it might not initially make you satisfied monetarily, for instance, but it will be a joy when you're doing it. And this is already so much of the process. This is already such a huge chunk of anything and everything that you need to do anything good, to do anything well. And doing things well is already, and doing things well, like really well, already puts you way forward in your game. So making these inspirations a good experience, a positive experience, is more a matter of reconciling with your inner self and understanding the core of your passion and what is this thing that you have and this thing that your inspiration has that link you guys, the thing that make you the same, that make you want to pursue the thing that you want to pursue. So this is mostly about you not crashing out, chilling, not rushing the process, because you can't rush your healing. A lot of this part of life of becoming more mature and becoming better and doing your thing better, doing your craft with more practicality and more experience is about growing up. And growing up, you have to heal a lot of things that you right now know that you have to heal, but also a lot of things that you don't know yet, a lot of things that you're going to find out that you need to heal throughout the process. It's about not despairing, because you know there is something better on the way, because you're doing the right things. You know that you're following the right concepts and following through with your right plans. But that's mostly a mental activity and not really a physical one. It's not about labor. That comes later. That comes after you figured out what it is that you really want and how you can extract this from others. How can you extract this inspiration from others without making the whole process feel heavy and not suggesting to your own mind that this needs to be associated with burden, this needs to be associated with pain. And when this happens, something interesting starts to follow through. And this is the spot that I find myself in right now, because that's the thing. Usually, when you hear this kind of stuff that I'm saying right now, it comes from people who are well up in their game. Well, you have a different perspective with me, because I'm not. I know that I'm not. And interestingly enough, emotionally speaking, I already feel like I'm on the top of the world. Most of the times, I have shifted enough my mind and my ideas throughout these past few months, the past few years, but mostly past few months, to such a degree that I am emotionally detached from my world, to such an extent that I can confidently say this stuff, even though I haven't showed up a lot of stuff yet. I don't have a lot of work to show for this, for everything that I say. I don't have a lot of gigs. I'm not very successful in my freelance journey, not yet. I'm not recognized. My Instagram posts get at most 10 likes, but usually 2 or 3 likes. And if this makes you lose interest in anything that I'm saying, if this makes you not trust me anymore, come back in about like 5 years and you're gonna see that I'm in the top of the game. You're gonna see that. I'm confident in that. I'm so confident in that because I understand now that this process is mostly mental. And I say this with such confidence without having anything to show, because I have overcome this spot of differentiating myself from my inspirations. I feel like I'm one of them. I just need to get through it. I just need time. But my mentality is the same. So me and them, we are not different. There's nothing special about them. There's nothing that they have that I don't have. I got the passion and I proved it to myself. I proved that I have this passion because I've been doing this no matter what. And I feel and I know that I would be doing this no matter what. This is something that I think about when I wake up and that I think about when I go to sleep at night. But sometimes I go to sleep at morning. That just happens. But that happens at a time. I feel intensely about art, about making art. That's my calling. That's what I am. That's who I need to be. I need to prove this not to the world but to myself. And this fills me with joy. If I have this and I have time, I'm just like them. And I just don't have stuff to show up yet, but I will. It's just a matter of time. So no rush, no despair. I'm just gonna enjoy my time here while I'm just an underdog. Like such an underdog. But I already feel like I'm becoming an inspiration to some people. Not a lot of people yet, but to some people. Some of you guys have wrote me comments saying that this helped you in some way. And some friends told me directly that they were inspired by what I do and like they think what I do is beautiful and stuff. And this is already changing from the comments and the ideas that I was getting 1 year ago. I made progress. It's minimal if you compare to the people that I'm highly inspired by, but that's what it is in the beginning, and it doesn't get more difficult than that. It's just an escalating journey from now on. Most things in life are. And if it just gets better with time, and I'm already having so much fun and I already feel so good with myself right now, I can't wait for every single day to pass as fast as it can so I can feel more joy tomorrow. It's not a burden to look at the pile of work that I have to do to get there. It's an immensely gratifying experience to look at all this and know that I have so much to do, because it's like watching a movie, but I'm self-centered like that, so it's a good movie for me. This is not advice, really. At the end of this recording, and I felt like that too in the first video that I was just talking out of my mind, like the latest video, really. I don't feel like this is advice for anyone. I just feel like talking to a friend. And although I'm not very articulate and that I know that I don't connect my thoughts as good yet, another thing on the list that I am learning and doing, like I'm doing terribly right now, but I will get better at it anyway. As much as I feel like I'm saying a lot, I don't feel like this is advice. This is just a casual conversation. You should just follow your gut and discover things by yourself and find out what really works for you. This is not set in stone. It's just what I'm going through and what is helping me, has helped me, and is helping me right now to get through emotional hurdles and improving me, making me getting better every single day. And maybe with luck it meets the way that you see life, and hopefully it helps you in some way. So if it did, again, this is a safe place. Feel free to be part of the community. Just feel free to write anything in the comments. Don't do it if you don't want to. Like this video if you want to. Don't like it if you didn't like it, and unlike it if you hated it. Subscribe if you want to listen to me talk about stuff more often. I'll try to be more consistent with this channel and really try to make this world a better place, even if a little bit. And just as a final word, I do have a Patreon. At the moment, I just have one Patreon. By the way, thank you so much, Nandinho, Fernando, This is crazy that I have someone in my Patreon, but I'm writing a book right now on basically the same thematics of this channel, which is art and life, and like the conjugation of both and how both are the same thing. So really a lot of very heartfelt and motivational texts for artists, mainly for everybody, but mainly for artists. So if you feel like this is appealing to you, if you like this kind of commentary and you think that you would like to see what I have to write about this, I'm almost finishing the first chapter right now. It will be available in a couple of days, I believe, most likely at the end of this week. And I will be constantly updating this book, and every new chapter will be available. So until it gets released, you kind of have a weep access to my book. So yeah, if it feels like it's something appealing to you, feel free to check my Patreon in this video's description. This is the way that you can help me financially, but if that doesn't sound as appealing to you, just liking this video is already enough. And if you reached this point in the video, if you reached this far, I can't put into words how grateful I am for you to be here. You chose my videos from all the videos that you had, and this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I will be seeing you here around a couple of times more. So yeah, see ya.